Hey fellow Vault-wearers, it's Angry Turtle and I have some updates from public test server that are both good and bad, depend what weapon you are using and how you are using it. Especially Gauss shotgun is a tricky one in here, as Bethesda is working hard to fix a lot of bugs related to explosions and simultaneously related to VATS. And consequences of that are that basically those weapons work differently now. First, let's start with Gauss shotgun on the live game servers. Then how it works at this moment. It's a vampire Gauss shotgun, 564 damage with my build, and will be shooting level 100 super mutants. I made a mistake. I will be actually shooting super mutant on public test server first. That's not a live game version. That's a public test server first, then I compare to the live game version. Therefore, public test server, 1, 2, 3. Oh, why am I out of VATS? Yeah, this go out. Let's continue. Where is the super mutant? This one. 4, 5 shots to kill a super mutant on public test server in VATS. Now, this will be a live game version and you will be able to recognize those game versions because here I'm wearing my newest Hellcat power armor just to make a distinction between those two, otherwise you will be even more confused than I am already, swapping between those two servers. And the weapon I'm using is exactly the same, with the same build and same amount of damage, the same legendary perks, everything the same. And now on the live game version, level 100 super mutant is 1, 2, 3, and a little bit. 4 shots, therefore it is faster on the live game version to kill the super mutant. And reason for that is that on the live game version in VATS, explosions are applying twice, and that seems to be fixed on public test server. But there is a difference in other stuff as well. Here, of course, I'm running with a grenadier, but now if I shoot without VATS, level 100 super mutant. Okay, there is a little bit too many level 100 super mutants in here, but that's fine. Let's try to focus on one. Without VATS, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, not 5. Reloading. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 shots. 11 shots if I do not use VATS. You can see that is indeed a huge difference. And now back on public test server, and I will be shooting without VATS as well. Level 100 super mutant is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Way less shots required, as explosion, collision, and effect was fixed in the sense that you no longer, they change it and it no longer counts from the feet of the enemy compared to the place where explosion occurs. Therefore now you can actually harm enemies regardless if you shoot under their feet or directly on them in VATS or outside of VATS. It's working. If you are watching Famous or Tier, they already showcased that, fighting Colossus, Scourge Beast, and other creatures that you were unable to harm with explosive weapons, and now you can. And I did a critical shot. That's another thing that was fixed. That's how I killed myself. Critical shot now does apply to explosions on the public test server, unlike on the live game version. And now here is, for example, 2-shot grenade launcher. Let's fix it. Let's find some super mutant. There we go. Okay, I need to jump. And you can see it can survive 2-shot grenade launcher now. Again, for the reason of fix to double hit in VATS from explosions. It no longer does that. Then a Super Mutant now can survive. Basically, the damage in VATS is consistent with the damage outside of VATS. If you cannot kill something outside of VATS in one shot, you cannot kill it in VATS. As you can see, it's exactly the same damage if I shoot those Super Mutants in VATS or outside. But if I use the critical, it is a one shot and I'm killing myself too, regardless of my distance. Like, critical now is super deadly for everyone, yourself and your targets on public test server. Where it can be beneficial though is using those criticals on Scorch Beasts. Let's try to charge some critical. Luckily, regular Scorch are squishy enough to kill them in one shot with a grenade launcher. Two-shot grenade launcher, if you hit them well, of course. Stop running away. Oh, almost killed myself. It's not exactly how it's supposed to happen, but let's see the Scourge Beast now. Let's get a little bit closer to her. And now we can use those criticals, and you see the critical actually hit and did a chunk of damage. My other grenades are still on the way. Like, critical seems to be faster as well. Let's try to use critical. Will it hit? Or is it a miss? It did hit. You can see it was more damage. There's still this interesting delay mechanics sometimes, but it does hit, and criticals are helpful in such situation, as long as you will get the hit far enough away from yourself. And here I killed just a bunch of Scorch, as critical applies to entire explosion, not only on one target, but everything that's around too. Then critical can kill a bunch of enemies, can kill you too. That's important to know. That's what's happening on the public test server now. Then explosions are being fixed. Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? As I said, that depends. Like, they do work better outside of VATS now, and do work better in VATS if you are using criticals. But certainly you lost this double damage in VATS. That was like a default behavior and still is in the live game version. It's no longer a default behavior on the public test server. Now we are back on the live game servers, and I will show you a comparison with two-shot grenade launcher, the same one, level 100 super mutants, and they all die in one shot because VATS somehow multiplies those explosions and they all die. And don't look on the fact that I'm taking less damage. I'm wearing a full set of overeaters in here. That's where the difference comes from. Then that's not the change. And easily, every single one of them will die. Although, if I do critical in here, it's no different than regular shot. Then live game version, that's more powerful by default. But if you do the criticals, there is no difference. On the PTS, public test server, that's weaker on default with explosive weapons. But criticals do work. Then it's like double-edged sword. Definitely, this will benefit greatly all the explosive weapons in the boss fights. But it's a negative for everyday farming when you want to get maximum performance per shot without counting on the criticals. Then those are interesting changes that are coming. Let me know what you think about those. Are you excited or afraid of what's going on? I'm generally excited about the boss fights, but in the same time, I feel like this Gauss shotgun especially need a buff. Like grenade launcher, my two-shot grenade launcher with couple more perks, I can probably buff it enough to kill almost everything in one shot, even without critical. The Gauss shotgun, it's a struggle though. It should be a little bit stronger, but that's my opinion. Let me know what you think, guys. And now, as always, thank you a lot for watching, and see you all in the next one.